horror movie on iPhones where it's two people having a video chat, and it's what's over their shoulder, right? But
giving this stuff away.
I'm not making kidding. I got 75 ideas. So yeah, go do that. So then you can go and you can produce in each of those individual media and create it. Okay, so now we've got our individual things functioning at a high level. We've got our pitch. We've got our first 10 days. We've got our last 5 days. All right. Now our first 10 days is basically going to be a ramp like this, right? And it's going to be a lot of people throwing you money. You're like, yeah, we made $1,000 on the first day, and our goal is $15,000. We got this. We're going to double our money. No, you're not. They'll double the money you got it for, so you can do it $2,000. So once you get that first, whatever it is, $500, $10, $20, whatever it is, your job now is to immediately go out on Kickstarter. Kickstarter allows you to communicate just with the people who helped you, who donated to you. And you can either make it backers only, or you can say this is why. So immediately you start a private conversation with them, backers only, you know. And if you say, what's great is if you say post number 5, or if you even give it a cooler name, like all mine were ship systems reports, right? So like all of the levels, we'll get to levels in a second, but all of my levels were different ranks on a ship. Right? And everything was a ship systems report. Ship systems report number 1, number 2, number 5. Because what that does is people go, number 5, where's number 4? Because they still want the content, even if they haven't paid in. So if they go, all right, well, I've gotten this content for doing number 5 and number 7 and number 10. Where are the ones in between? You've created a velvet rope, right? Now you've got a velvet rope that basically says that the people who are in and there are people who are out. Okay? Are you in? Did you give us just $1? Just $1, and we'll tell you what's on the other side. That goes a long way towards moving it, because anytime you say this is something you can't have unless you come in, it moves your base. So now we've got our velvet rope. That's the first 10 days. And what you should be doing with those people back there is going, guys, you've helped us. You are the best human beings in the entire world. You believe in this project. You've believed it so much that you've reached into your wallet and you've told me that you're going to help me out. Okay. Okay, you're going to help me out. Great. What do we do? What do we do? How can we move this further? And it starts dialogue. Ask questions, right? With film or with an item. Immediately asking questions of your audience. If you're offering a product, how can we make this product better? They will tell you very quickly. It doesn't have a button in the right place. Really, are you using those spools? Because these ones over here are cheaper. What you immediately have done is you've garnered a bunch of people to help you research for your project, and people love wasting time at work. Right? So they would much rather help you out on this little thing that they only know about and nobody else does, and find things that you can be doing than they would be filing TPS reports. So the important thing is then you look at what they've told you and you go, that's a great idea, that's a bad idea, that's a great idea, that's a bad idea. And then you do all of the ideas. You do every last single one of them until it gets too hard for you to do all of them. And then you find somebody else to do the other ones. The thing is, do the ones that you think are good and put a lot of your effort into it, and do the ones that you think are bad and put very little effort into it. The thing is that you don't know which ones are the good ideas really and which ones are the bad ideas. The ones that you think are the absolutely stupidest ideas, you know what you should do? You should take this and you should do Snapchat videos that are set in that house and just do 6-second scare videos that disappear every 10 seconds for people. Great idea too. Right. Right. Then you go, and somebody will go, okay, let's go do that. And you're going, oh, that's a stupid idea. It's going to take a ton of work to go over there. Screw it. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it on my iPhone, and we'll figure out. And you have fun over, at midnight on a day, and you go do it, right? And suddenly people are sharing those Snapchat videos around as quickly as possible because you thought it was a stupid idea, it's starting to work. Okay, well let's keep on doing that. And those things are going to roll into your middle 15 days, right? Anything that succeeded in the first 10 days is something that you should continue to do in your middle 15 days. It's like finding a political hook that works, right? Okay, we found out yes we can. We found yes we can as our political hook in our first 10 days. Okay, so now the next 15 days we're just gonna yes we can everybody to death. So if you find in that first 10 days, oh, the Snapchat video worked, and this 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 worked, great. Those are the ones that we're gonna do, and then we're gonna saturate the market with those. And we're just gonna do minute changes to each of them as we go, and that's gonna be the next 15 days. Okay, and finally, the last 5 days. The last 5 days is just getting your pride out of the way, right? Because it's been a lot of work. That's 25 days of this, right? And you feel like you've saturated the market, and it's so good. And you feel like you've been begging for 25 days, and you don't want to do any more good. At that point, it's the time to get naked and scream, all right? Leave yourself with no barriers, with nothing left, to go, I need help! And that's what you do in those last 5 days. Now maybe you're the person who came up with the idea that's absolutely fantastic and you got double your funding in the first day. You should still be doing this at this point in time. It has a different meaning rather than I need help. It's like, you guys are the best people in the world. Let's take this further. But it's still, it's got to be naked, unabashed, and basically go forward. Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I'm crashing Matt's. I was put on the panel by the con, but I feel like I'm crashing Matt's party. Let me just give you a little bit of an intro to who I am, like 12 seconds, so I can resonate with one of Matt's points. My name's Steve Dengler. I'm kind of a serial top-tier Kickstarter backer. I put in hundreds of thousands of dollars into Kickstarter projects.
Awesome.
And I've been involved on both sides of the fence, just as a backer, but also as an organizer as well. So that, just to give you an insight to where I'm coming from. So one of the things we did, one of the projects that I felt really close to, I funded the first season of My Give You Life with Teal Sher. If you guys watch The Guild, you know she's Venom. For season 2, we ran a Kickstarter. I was always going to fund it. Even if it got $0, I was going to fund it myself personally, the second season as well. We kept me as an ace in the hole right until the last minute. Teal was begging and pleading in a classy way like she let it run, and just like Matt said, she got naked and said, like, you can look at the decay curves of your Kickstarter funding and say, probably gonna make it or probably not.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be close. It was gonna be close. So, I mean, without my involvement, right? So she basically got down on her hands and knees and said, please help, you know, you've come in, you've helped so far. The other thing, Matt, again, I don't want to step on his toes too much, but charities have found over the years that if they have to spend energy getting money from the general public, it is much more effective to go to your existing donors and ask for more money than it is to go to solicit new donors.
Yes.
So what they do, and what a lot of people on Kickstarter do, exactly as Matt is getting at here at the last minute, they say, won't you pledge $25, and that's awesome. But would you consider, like, we may not make it, or we may not make a stretch goal, would you consider going to $30 or $35?
Yes.
So that's what Teal did. She said, please, she got naked and screamed and said, please help us make it over the finish line. Look, we're all in this together. We're gonna miss it by 5 or 10%. Come on, can't you up some pledges? So in the end, I can't remember I think they just used me to hit a stretch goal or something like that, but if you're not, sure, as Matt says, you're tired, you're burned out, you know, you're emotionally drained by the end of this thing, and especially watching those decay curves, am I gonna make it, am I not gonna make it? That doesn't mean you should quit. That means you've got to go back and try harder at the last minute. So
this is no, absolutely. And that's really important. I was going to cover that in terms of when you cover stuff. But no, that is Steve's got a really salient point there. Is that your core backers, your core backers are absolutely your main advertisers, and they're your main source of money, right? And getting even an additional 10% or 15% from them is really useful. I just tend to think if you're going to do that, do it at the last minute.
Absolutely last minute.
Do it absolutely at the last minute when you do it. What we did in terms of ours is we basically we saved up and said, look, we're going to offer our DVD and our CD and all of it together if you guys, yeah, go ahead.
No, those kind of what
Yeah, we're going to offer all of these things as an individual pack at the very end. And look, guys, if you've already chipped in $10, if you chipped in 25, we'll give that to you too. You know, and they basically said, okay, yeah, sure. You know, okay, which brings us to the stuff.
Yes.
I'm not a good metric. There are Kickstarters who did it a heck of a lot better than me in terms of stuff. We had way too much stuff. The thing about the steampunk community is the steampunk community loves making stuff. So they made a lot of free stuff for us. But that means they weren't going to ship it.
Physical stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Physical rewards are the devil.
Physical rewards are the devil, and it's brutal. And when you do that, you have to budget it in, right? So at the end, we basically succeeded to the tune of $126,000. We got $126,000 a month, right? That continued because people had said they wanted to continue backing. They basically continued and gave us another $50,000 after it closed, which was really, really nice. And that continued over about 6 months. The thing about it is that we went in and went, oh, well, we're selling hats. And we had steampunk flash drives. And we had buttons and pins. I mean, down to the smallest things that we're doing. I mean, this is a big one. Don't make decisions about giving people things when you make your goal. Stop. Don't offer them anything else. See if it continues. And if you want to offer them something else, offer them something digital, right? I basically said at the very last minute, I was Oprah, and I was like, everybody gets stuff. You get a pin, and you get a pin, and you get a pin. And then I went to people and I went, how much is it going to cost to manufacture these pins? And they said, it's $2.50 per. And I was like, $2.50 per pin? And they said, yes. And I went, I have 3,600 people to get pins to. And they went, that's going to be a good little bit of money. And I was like,
making that pin is the cheapest part of the process.
yeah, exactly. And then I have to take that pin and ship it out to every individual person, and then the post office ships some of them back, and you have to ship them again for that cost. And so becoming a shipping industry is part of it, and you should have certain physical things that you are giving to people at higher levels, but you have to average that into cost if that's what you're doing, you know. And manufacturing of those things, manufacturing of t-shirts, manufacturing of those things is definitely something to average in. The basic rule is assume what you are going to cost to get it, right? How much a t-shirt's gonna cost? How much is this gonna cost? How much is everything gonna cost? And then double it. All right. So you basically say, okay, this is gonna be $20,000 to ship everything that I really wanna ship, that I can get access to pretty easily, and that I think would be really cool that I would buy. That's the biggest thing. Would I buy this? You're your first audience. All right, so if you go, I would buy this. So for us, I figured it in, and I basically said did 1.5. I should have done double, because we ate $75,000 in overall cost in just shipping. And for the first 6 months of last year, all we did was just like envelopes. It was just like time to make the donuts. You know, that's what we did, right? And that's exactly what it is. And understand that that's part of it, and that's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, this is, you know, and you've done this and realized that you're not getting a salary out of it, so you still got to be working your day job all the time. So, in terms of items, basically you're running tiers, right? And your tiers go from $0 to $10,000 or more, right? If you are basically asking for anything over $5,000, you should have a $10,000 level, right? And that $10,000 should offer a piece of what you're doing, right? I was offering online stuff, and basically we offered our $10,000 level, we offered a producer's credit on it, which offers monetary compensation when things come down the line. Because we were aiming for online, nobody went for that level, but they did go for the $5,000 level that was below that.
I back, about here, and I'll talk a bit more about that.
No, so actually, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I
don't want to, you're on a roll, and so I've been making notes, and I'll just talk about the things that you've done.
Who's calling? Is that your mom? What was she asking?
No.
Is your eye okay? So, once you found those tiers, it's very, your most important thing is that the $10 tier, the $25 tier, the $50 tier, be right in the center. 10, 25, 50, 100,